Right, welcome to Midlife Comics, where I review comic books that I purchased long ago and have not read yet. So here we go. This particular time, I'm going to review another volume from the Eagle Moss line, the ones with the DC books, and I'm reviewing Green Arrow Year 1. Again, this is a Hungarian publication, so if you don't recognize the text, don't worry, don't fret. It's in Hungarian. I'm going to speak English. You're going to understand it, and if you want to read the story, you will find it most likely in English. So there's that. So Green Arrow Year 1, it's basically an origin story of Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow. It's actually kind of like a reimagining of the origin of the superhero, which the publishing houses, especially in the big two, are tend to do from time to time, because most of the big superheroes were not invented, but they were conceived, let's say, very early on in the 50s, in the 60s, some of them in the 80s, and their origin story is no longer up to date. So if you are like a newer reader and you would look up their first origin story, it would not be relatable to you in any shape or form. So they are doing a new origin story. So number one, you don't have to search for it, because you might not find it, especially back in the early 2000s. It was a there was a good chance that you would not find the particular comic book. And also they get to sell the same story over again, only with different artists behind it. So here what's going on, basically Oliver Queen is this really spoiled rich kid, an orphan, that just goes from party to party to party. He does whatever he feels like it. He has like a bodyguard, some former British SAS commando type guy that has the job of keeping him safe and alive, which is quite a handful, because the story starts that he is walking through the snow of the Arctic towards the North Pole, and after 3 days of walking, he finally reaches the North Pole or somewhere close enough, and then said, okay, like, this is close enough, I'm bored, let's get a chopper, let's go to a party. And that's what happens. And he's a drunk, he's a womanizer. He basically, what you saw of Tony Stark in the first Iron Man movie, the first 10 minutes, that's him, only imagine, instead of Robert Downey Jr., imagine Logan Paul. Pretty much. Big, dumb, blonde, whatever. And his bodyguard, he is connecting him with with a former client of his, a mysterious Asian woman that Oliver Queen dubs China White, and kind of suggests to make an investment in a dubious real estate scheme. And turns out that he just wants to double cross him, wants to take the cash and disappear, because he wants to invest in said Asian woman's opium business. But Oliver Queen gets drunk, gets on his ship that he weren't supposed to be on, and the bodyguard feels the pressure that, okay, now he needs to kill Oliver Queen, because otherwise he wouldn't get away with the ill-gotten funds. But he doesn't actually kill him, he just throws him into the sea and thinks that, okay, he is going to be as good as dead. but that's not the case. Oliver Queen ends up on a supposedly deserted island where there is only jungle and some abandoned village with a lot of dead people. He is hungover, he is sunburned, sunstruck, he's having a really shitty time. But for whatever reason, the survivor instinct kicks in and he fashions himself a bow out of some car parts, I think, and he starts hunting and he starts adapting to his surroundings and he feels better than ever. He feels great. Then he finds out that actually this island is not that vacant. There are people there. He just was going around in the wrong parts of the islands. That this is the island where the said China White character has its opium farms, where she is cultivating poppy with the original inhabitants of the islands who are now slaves. And he gets to know one of the slave women that is pregnant. They help each other. They really like each other, not in a romantic way, but they form some sort of bond. And all in all, Oliver Queen manages to disrupt the operations on the poppy farm to a degree that, okay, people are the bad guys are abandoning the islands, the slave inhabitants are rescued, and he gets to go home as a hero, basically. Also, the traitor bodyguard dies in the proceedings. But to be honest, this is not a good story. I haven't read the original origin story of Oliver Queen, but with this one I'm really not happy with the execution. Like, I'm unable to accept that some sort of drunken party animal just rises to the occasion in that level. That, okay, I can imagine that he manages to survive, to forage for food, to hunt, for that sort of thing, but he also manages to take on like armed guards, multiple armed guards. He jumps, he does parkour and everything. So yeah, sure, he has some athletic abilities, whatever, but he gets to level up in a very short amount of time without actual proper training. The whole thing, it doesn't feel believable to me. Also, as if the story isn't superficial enough, the artwork is quite ugly. I mean, it's not as it doesn't repulses me as much as John Romita Jr.'s artwork, because I really don't like the way he draws. It's not, this thing is not as bad as that, but it's quite ugly. It's very digital. All the lines, I would say almost like it has been drawn with the mouse. That's like my impression, because all the lines are they don't seem like natural, to be honest. Like, if you're drawing with your hand, there is like a natural flow of the lines. These are very not sketchy. I wouldn't use the attribute of sketchy, but they don't have a flow. These lines don't have a flow. they are making up silhouettes, they have a direction because they have to go in a certain way, but they don't have a flow. It's quite an ugly artwork, and yeah, I don't recommend this story arc. I don't recommend this story arc. I mean, Green Arrow, the character of Green Arrow, in every other thing where I encountered him, I never read before this story arc that was specifically about him. He was always part of a team. Like I encountered him in Injustice, I encountered him in Justice League stories and so on. So I always found him in teams, and he was like a very compelling character. He was always the guy. He was always the voice of rationality. Like, okay, like he had opinions, and he was not afraid to share those opinions and to make a case for a certain outcome, to a certain cause. He is dedicated to his cause, but yeah, this thing is not good. This feels like a crash grab for me, and I really do not recommend this particular issue. So do let me know if you feel any different, and as always, please follow the rules of YouTube, as in like, subscribe and follow. Peace.